here outside the offices of attorney Norm Pattis, who today sat down with us for a few minutes. You could tell he was emotionally drained by what's transpired for the last 8 months or so. Of course, the state is likely to file a motion to dismiss the charges in the case against a now deceased Fotis Dulos, but his attorney says he is going to soldier on in his defense. Late yesterday, Fotis Dulos' defense team filed a motion requesting the trial move forward by having his estate be substituted for the deceased defendant, which would be unprecedented in Connecticut.
In criminal cases, it typically does not, because the claim is the state doesn't have an interest any longer. There's no one to punish, there's no one to rehabilitate, there's no one from whom to protect society.
And because this would be unprecedented, Norm Pattis is prepared to go to great lengths to see it through.
If the trial court denies the motion, we'll take it to the appellate court, the Connecticut appellate court. If the Connecticut appellate court denies it, we'll take it to the Connecticut Supreme Court. And if the Connecticut Supreme Court denies it, we'll take it to the United States Supreme Court.
In the course of executing the search warrant at his Jefferson Crossing address in Farmington, investigators recovered a note inside of Fotis Dulos' SUV, which is where he was found unresponsive.
And he proclaimed his innocence in that note.
I've not read it. I've had it described to me, but that is my belief, yes.
And in that note, Dulos allegedly wrote that his lawyers have the evidence to prove his innocence.
I'm confident that had we taken this case to trial, he would have been found not guilty. There are plenty of reasons to doubt the state's case, and the state knows it.
And anyone who has access to all of the information surrounding this case knows it, Pattis says.
Reading the newspapers, you wouldn't know it. Listening to television, you wouldn't know it. That's not the fault of the journalists. It's just limited information.
In other words, the public is just getting one side of the story so far. The Dulos family is now making his funeral arrangements and has considered burying him in Farmington.
We recommended that Mr. Dulos' body be removed from the United States for fear that his grave would be desecrated. Attorney
Pattis says this case is unlike any other he's ever handled.
I've had, obviously, suicides before, but this is a man I came to care about deeply and understand as a human being. And I take his loss personally.
Pattis said that despite the fact that Stamford State's Attorney Richard Colangelo, who's been the prosecutor, the lead prosecutor in this case, is now moving to Rocky Hill to become the chief state's attorney, he said that shouldn't impact how this case moves forward. We're live here in New Haven outside of Norm Pattis' offices. I'm Tony Terzi, Fox 61 News.
All right, Tony.